knows what sadness lurks in the hearts of carless drivers? The Lone Ranger knows.
How do you do that?
Do what?
Make your voice sound like that.
The same way that Sahara Motors makes great deals on new or used cars.
How?
The same way they can build the car of your dreams.
But how?
Shh. Trade secrets.
Visit us at Sahara Motors, 585 North McGill Highway, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Or give us a call at 775-289-4473.
And don't forget, service after this sale.
And tell us Wyatt sent you for the best deal available.
Don't be a pedestrian. See Maggie at Sahara Motors in Ely.
How does he do that?
It's the all-new Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible new subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created. It's Subway's biggest refresh yet.
And now with the new drive-thru kiosk in Ely, it's easy to drive through and eat fresh without even getting out of your car. The new Subway Series menu. The new Subway kiosk. Subway, Great Basin Boulevard in Ely. Open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Drive through and eat fresh. Subway in Ely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Skies. Por tus olas de grano sambar, yo piscina zakote sa ibabaw ng mga prutas. America, America, God shed His grace on thee. La mer brilla. Vers tu verrière
Our time is 12 minutes past 8 o'clock, your morning pre-recorded, on this Monday, Patriot Day, the 11th day of September. On this date, 22 years ago today, the world changed, much like it did on December 7th, 1941, much as it did on November 22nd, 1963. A day, this date, 22 years ago, we need to remember and preserve the events of that day for all Americans. This is how that date was heard on the radio in New York City. September 11th, 2001.
All news, all the time. Terrorism at the World Trade Center.
This is beyond belief.
Breaking news.
2 planes have smashed into the towers minutes apart.
We were stunned. We were shocked.
Z100, 852. Something weird is going on.
Yeah.
The World Trade Center is on fire.
Oh my Seriously, goodness. The top of the building. We're trying to get information, Elvis.
It looks like floors are just gone. Looks like how do you turn it on?
And Ron himself yells, "Oh no, oh my God." Because Ron himself is like paralyzed by what he sees. I'm sort of like numb.
I was sitting at my desk at 8:48 that morning and my phone rang. And it was one of our salespeople, our account executives, Joan Fleischer, who is not a reporter.
Breaking news now on 1010 Wins.
This just into our newsroom. A plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
I heard the plane very close to the top of the buildings. I looked outside and I saw it hit.
People expected certain things from WOR in a crisis. It's the biggest news story in the last 50 years. And it was raw emotion.
Police vehicles and emergency service vehicles and fire trucks keep speeding past me.
I managed to hop into an emergency services vehicle and got across the Brooklyn Bridge.
I made it all the way to Warren and West Broadway, where a number of cars are on fire in the middle of the street.
But then I start kicking in with Ron that, hey, this could be an act of terrorism. And he chides me. He says, wait a second, you remember Timothy McVeigh? You remember Murtaugh? You remember the first reports? A swarthy, Middle Eastern type. Meantime, was a corn-fed, white, all-American, blonde-head, blue-eyed devil who did it from the heartland of America.
Right away, I thought terrorism, but, you know, I'm a talk show host. I'm cynical.
Clearly, we're in the middle of the worst ever act of terrorism directed at the United States on domestic soil, and it may not be over.
You're trying to describe the worst terrorist attack in U.S. history, and you're watching it.
Something's wrong here. This can't be true. I thought it was, I really thought it was one of those Howard Stern listeners who'd called us up and faked us out, you know? So I was about to call the radio station and say, did you check this out? And then they said, we can see it.
We were able to stay local. We did not turn to network coverage because we didn't need to. It was our story, and we covered it locally.
It's 9 o'clock now on WOR New York, along with Joe Bartlett of the WOR News Center. I'm Ed Walsh. This is one of those days that all of us will remember for the rest of our lives.
This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
As hard as they tried to distance themselves from the news and not be the news, their emotions were really on their sleeves, and that's good radio. It's natural.
I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about it. And watch the second plane hit, as most of the country did.
Oh my God, Ed, another plane just hit the World Trade Center. Another plane. It was a medium-sized plane. Unbelievable. It would look like, oh my God, this is a deliberate act, Ed. This plane flew directly into the second World Trade Center.
We saw some speck coming out, and the first thing that I did in the newsroom is yell out, how could FAA allow a plane to be that close? And all of a sudden, that plane went into the South Tower.
Breaking news on WCBS 880, right here, right now.
We're covering more terror at the World Trade Center 8 years later.
It's exploding right now, Tommy. We're seeing another
apparently
plane.
That was another plane.
When that second plane flew into the building and you saw it come across the screen, you just went, oh my God. How can this be happening?
The latest update from WABC Radio News.
Oh my God!
Oh,
the next building
there's
just
another
blew
one.
up.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Another plane just flew in.
I feel the heat. The explosion is incredible. Oh, my God.
Another plane as we were watching.
I don't believe this. The second tower has exploded from about the 20 stories below in a gargantuan explosion. Oh, my God, I don't believe it.
Breaking news now on 10 and Wins.
Interrupting John for just a moment, we now have reports of a fire at the Pentagon.
But now we have unconfirmed reports there has been an explosion. There is a fire at the Pentagon here in Washington.
All right, we've got Neil Augenstein, who we've been trying to bring up this morning. Neil, are you? Can you tell us what you see at the Pentagon now?
Mike, can you hear me? Mike?
Yes, I can. Neil Augenstein, you're live on the air. Tell us what you see at the Pentagon.
Okay, I'm standing right on, 395, right by the Boundary Channel Drive exit, looking across to the Pentagon, seeing heavy, heavy smoke.
I'm on the highway on my cell phone. I just watched a plane crash near the Pentagon. I was on with the press secretary of Congressman John Sununu, and while I was on the phone with her, I saw the plane crash right before my eyes. Smoke is billowing all around this area.
And then the realization that the building was absolutely crumbling into itself. And I just, like the rest of the world, sat there in complete, utter disbelief.
The most horrible sight of my life was watching that first building crumble to the ground.
Oh, my God, the building fell. Are you there? The building just fell.
Which building?
Oh, my God, the south building just crumbled from the top. Oh, my God, the building just fell. The entire World Trade Center on the south building just fell. I just saw the whole thing. Oh, my God.
Nobody knew whether these buildings were falling like this or falling in on top of themselves, so that the terror was to try to calculate how far does a 110-story building fall and how fast can I run?
I saw the tower go down, and I'm standing there feeling helpless, wanting to cry and also wanting to be strong and do something.
It was so chilling that our anchor at the time, Lee Harris, as objective as he tried to be, as journalistic as he tried to be, the anguish in his voice was unmistakable.
A situation that started bad just gets worse and worse and worse. The World Trade Center, South Tower, which was hit by a plane and racked by an explosion approximately an hour ago, has totally collapsed.
This is WABC, New York.
A large plane crashes in western Pennsylvania. If this is indeed connected to what has happened here this morning, it is quite clear that the United States is under attack.
Our reporters arrived right before the second tower was hit, and we were scared to death that we were going to lose one of them. And then when that second tower came down and we lost all communication with our reporters, as a general manager of the radio station, I had this excruciating pain in my stomach that I had sent some of my own people to their death.
As I look out, it looks as though the building is going. Is that the building going down? Is that the second building of the World Trade Center going down?
Yes, that is the second. That is the second tower. That is the second tower.
Down. It's a huge plume of smoke that came out of the middle of the building, and then the building just disappeared in the smoke. It is an incredible sight. People around me are taking a look. I cannot even describe it. It is one of those rare moments where you just can't describe it. It looked as though it was a puff of cloud, almost like a firework explosion of cloud. No noise with it. And then all of a sudden, I just blinked my eyes. I looked back. I might have heard the people in the background going, "Oh my God!" And the second building appears to have gone down.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Ben. That is the second building that has gone down.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
I think everybody from now on that lived through that will put that mark, that time, and that date, 9/11, on their mental calendar, and they'll never forget that day. Because things changed from then on. It's just not the same. It's really not.
Once that first plane hit, we had already started to tone down the music, get anything raucous off the air.
We pulled a lot of the raucous jingles off the air to kind of just tone everything down.
All debate in America now has shifted and changed, and it'll never be the same because it will all be weighed against the events of September the 11th. You won't debate immigration the way you once did prior to the 11th. It's a whole different ballgame. I'm looking over at the 77 AM WABC Talk Radio logo, which has the Twin Towers of Power right there. I mean, that's our stamp, our brand. That's sort of like everyone knows. They see that, oh yeah, that's WABC in New York.
It was just incredible. We sit there and play 10 songs in a row, and we do wacky contests, and we have fun with listeners, but we've never really thought seriously about how we can change the world with our radio station, and we did. It was just awesome.
I've ever seen the city. I'm homegrown. I'm a Brooklyn boy. And I have never seen the city so unified.
I'm here to help. And the first people I ran into were the Salvation Army, and they just put me to work. And it turns out that I have organizational skills that I didn't know I had. So, I mean, all I wanted to do was help. I just wanted to do something, which I think a lot of people felt.
This is a monument to our people. It's a church at ground zero, with all of the fire persons and the policemen who are actually the heroes in this war. And let us celebrate the great humanness of radio, which picked up the ball after television showed us where it was.
And we still get email from people saying they don't know how they could get through all that without Z100. I'm thinking, without a radio station? It's a radio station. It's number 600 on your list of important things, and they said that they couldn't do it without us. And I'm glad I do what I do for a living now. It makes me really proud to be working in this business.
To this day, months after 9/11, when you see fire trucks screeching down the streets, American flags flying in full furl on the trucks, and people applauding as the trucks go by. It's just amazing.
Here we are at ground zero. It's an amazing feeling. It feels so much different than it looks. And in life, you can't explain something like this. You have to experience it.
And we also had calls from people who were inside the buildings and didn't make it out. It's the most memorable broadcast day of my life.
We're using television to show radio. On the morning of 9/11, radio showed us television. And we have that common bond, although it's a reversal of roles. And I would like to think most of the healing is taking place on radio because of the nature of what we do, which is intimacy. And the word says it all. Into me see. Intimacy. The hallmark of talk radio.
The past few minutes could only scratch the surface of a day no American will ever forget. God bless you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. And may God bless America.
America, America, may God bless America, and freedom reign across America, my home. May freedom reign across America, my
Powerful audio, powerful video. We'll have Art Vuolo's video linked up on our Facebook pages, facebook.com/Nevada Talk Network. Art Radio's best friend. Vuolo Video, that's VUOLO, vuolovideo.com. Some amazing things. This is your morning 22 years ago today, September 11th, 2023, remembering the events on this Patriot Day. Good morning.
It's the all-new Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible new subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created. It's Subway's biggest refresh yet.
And now with the new drive-thru kiosk in Ely, it's easy to drive through and eat fresh without even getting out of your car. The new Subway Series menu, the new Subway kiosk. Subway, Great Basin Boulevard in Ely. Open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Drive through and eat fresh. Subway in Ely.
what sadness lurks in the hearts of carless drivers? The Lone Ranger knows.
How do you do that?
Do what?
Make your voice sound like that.
The same way that Sahara Motors makes great deals on new or used cars.
How?
The same way they can build the car of your dreams.
But how?
Shh. Trade secrets.
Visit us at Sahara Motors, 585 North McGill Highway, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Or give us a call at 775-289-4473.
And don't forget, service after this sale.
And tell us Wyatt sent you for the best deal available.
Don't be a pedestrian. See Maggie at Sahara Motors in Ely.
How does he do that?
Coming up here on the bottom of the hour, and we are at just about at 8:29, we will have news. We will have our regular look at sports and business news, and we will continue with more of our remembrance of September 11th, 2001, on this Patriot Day 2023. I do need to mention today at the Ely Senior Center, vegetable beef soup, along with the corned beef and Swiss sandwich, mixed salad, and orange. And also the Ministerial Association Food Bank in Ely open this afternoon from 1 until 2. About the only regular thing we're going to talk about this morning. When we return, Steve West and a tribute and a remembrance of the events of this date, and that was back on September 11th, 2001, 22 years ago today. Your morning taking a day away from our usual fun and frivolity and remembering events that changed America. Not just history, but changed America. And that was on this date, September 11, 2001, 22 years ago today. 8:30 is our time where Nevada comes to talk. Good Monday morning to you. At 8:35 on this Patriot Day Monday, this is Steve West.
September 11th, 2001. Remembered.
This just in, a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York. We'll be following those stories for you coming up. We'll have more on that plane crash as we have it. Once again, a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
In past generations, there have been days in American history that people of that era will never forget. The shooting of President John F. Kennedy. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
December 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy.
And for this generation, the events of 9/11 will be forever etched in our minds.
Looking at the replay now of that plane coming in, you see it coming in low, banking to the left, and then plowing into the building, and of course the flames shooting out the other side. So that structure has taken a major hit.
It certainly doesn't look as if that plane was attempting in any way to avoid the building, quite the opposite.
It almost looks like it came into it deliberately.
It really, I felt my knees get weak. I mean, it really scared me. But at first, I didn't know it was planned. I didn't know they were intentional. And after the second plane hit and they found out that it was a planned deal, I thought that would be it. I didn't know there was going to be any more.
Put away what I was doing. I got up and walked down there, and I got there just in time to see the replay of the second plane hitting the tower. When I saw that, I instantly knew that it wasn't an accident.
I looked out my window, which is directly across from Pentagon and Pentagon Row apartments, and I saw the tail of a large airliner with a red, managed to see the red, there was a red dot of some sort on the tail. It plowed right into the Pentagon.
A sight that Pentagon officials here obviously hope they would never want to see. Dark smoke billowing out of the center of the Pentagon. Behind me, numerous fires, trucks heading to the area. Officials here investigating the scene. They have evacuated the Pentagon.
I actually got a call from one of my network's affiliates saying that something had just happened at their World Trade Center. And I turned on the TV set just in time to see the second plane hit the other tower. I just remember thinking, at first before it happened, that it was, some kind of, some private plane, something like that must have hit it. That was what happened. But then when I saw the second plane hit, I think everybody knew when it happened.
We can never sing that song again that way. David, you've been terrific to have me on tonight. I'm so sorry for this. The hour grows late, but...
Yeah, you're fine. You're a professional, but good Christ, you're a human being, and my God, to not see that...
I've never seen anything like it in my life. The tower just collapsed moments ago. I'm on the phone here at a gas station on 2nd Avenue, East 1st Street. I can see the towers, smoke billowing. I mean, you can't even see the towers. There's so much smoke. And as I was on hold, waiting to get on the line here, people started screaming, "Oh, my God!" I'm direct, and there is visible smoke coming from that area. High visible smoke.
You say you'll never forget where you were when you heard the news on September 11th, 2001.
Motor 14 with an American Airlines plane.
Neither will I.
Over the pike, possibly toward the Pentagon. 10-4, cruiser 50 direct.
I was on the 110th floor in a smoke-filled room with a man who called his wife to say goodbye.
God bless America.
I held his fingers steady as he dialed. I gave him the piece to say, "Honey, I'm not going to make it.
Smoke billowing out
It's
of the
okay.
side of the
I'm ready to go." I was with his wife when he called as she fed breakfast to their children. I held her up as she tried to understand his words. And as she realized he wasn't coming home that night.
And then a big huge fireball followed.
I was in the stairwell of the 23rd floor when a woman cried out to me for help. "I've been knocking on the door of your heart for 50 years. I said, "Of course, I'll show you the way home. Only believe in me now."
There would be hell to pay for attacking America.
I was at the base of the building when the priest ministered the injured and devastated souls. I took him home to tend his flock in heaven. He heard my voice and answered. I was on all 4 of those planes. In every seat. With every prayer. I was with the crew as they were overtaken. I was in the very hearts of the believers there, comforting and assuring them that their faith has saved them. I was in Texas, Kansas, London. I was standing next to you when you heard the terrible news. Did you sense me? I want you to know that I saw every face. I knew every name, though not all know me. Some met me for the first time on the 86th floor. Some sought me with their last breath. Some couldn't hear me calling to them through the smoke and flames. "Come to me. This way. Take my hand." Some chose, for the final time, to ignore me. But I was there. I did not place you in the tower that day. You may not know why, but I do. However, if you were there in that explosive moment in time, would you have reached for me? September 11th, 2001 was not the end of the journey for you. But someday your journey will end, and I'll be there for you as well. Seek me now while I may be found. Then, at any moment, you know you're ready to go. I will be in the stairwell of your final moments.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center.
I love you.
In an apparent terrorist attack. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bright glad, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Tomorrow, New York is going to be here, and we're going to rebuild, and we're going to be stronger than we were before.
Say a prayer for those folks today, won't you please? It's 8:45.